Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. On this video I'm going to be giving you my starting 11 prediction for our game against Arsenal on Sunday. It's a 4:30 kickoff at Old Trafford. I've already given you my preview for the game. And on my next video I'll be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference. So let's get on with it. So I think Ole is going to go with the 4-2-3-1 formation. He's been going a lot with that formation since he got appointed in as Manchester United manager. A few times he's gone with a 4-3-3 formation. A few times he's gone with a 3-5-2 formation. But anyway, I'm going to go with David De Gea in goal. I've got to give David De Gea a lot of credit. He has rejuvenated himself recently. He's done well in like his last 3 or 4 games. I said David De Gea will remain our number one this season. This season is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant at the football club. I know I've been critical of De Gea before because for the last few years he's made a lot of calamitous mistakes. De Gea has made over 400 appearances for the club in all competitions. He's made over 300 appearances in the Premier League. He's won everything domestically at the football club, and he has won individual awards reflecting on his good performances over the years. It was only last September De Gea signed a 4-year contract with the club worth £350,000 a week. We paid, around £19 million for De Gea from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. And I said when De Gea leaves Manchester United, he will go back to Spain. Over 5 years ago now, De Gea was close to joining Real Madrid, but due to a fax machine, his move to Madrid never materialised. Wan-Bissaka, I think he will start at right back against Arsenal. Wan-Bissaka's obviously our first choice right back. I've got to give Wan-Bissaka a lot of credit. He's rejuvenated himself. He's done well in his last 4 games. He showed some good attacking intent. He's defensively been very, very good. Don't forget Wan-Bissaka scored in the Newcastle game. That was his first goal for Manchester United and his first senior goal. That game against Newcastle was his 50th appearance for the football club. But I think it's the foreseeable future for Man United. This season is Wan-Bissaka's second season at the club. We got him in a deal worth £50 million from Crystal Palace in the summer of 2019. Harry Maguire, I think he'll start this game against Arsenal. He'll be one of the centre-halves. Got to give a lot of credit to Harry Maguire. He's rejuvenated himself recently because Harry Maguire did have early season troubles. Don't forget he sustained a few knocks. He got sent off in England's 1-0 defeat to Denmark, and he had that incident in Greece the other month. This season's Harry Maguire's second season at the club. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at this present time because we got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. And obviously he's our current captain. Now, I think the other centre-half alongside him will probably be Victor Lindelof. I'd start Axel Tuanzebe, but I think he'll go with Victor Lindelof. To be fair to Victor Lindelof, he has rejuvenated himself recently. Lindelof's had some good games as a Manchester United player, but he's also had a lot of bad games. He's definitely not on Harry Maguire's level. Lindelof's endured over 3 years now, I think, at Manchester United. We paid around £31 million for him from Benfica back in 2017. Now, at left back, we will go with Luke Shaw, I think. I think Luke Shaw's really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Like I've said to you before, my only element of concern about Shaw is that he's injury prone. He sustained an ankle injury towards the end of last season. He was injured the first part of last season as well. You know, Luke Shaw's enjoyed a good 6 years or so at the football club. You know, paid around 30 million for him from Southampton back in 2014. Now, the midfield. I think we're going to start Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba started against RB Leipzig, didn't he? And was quite impressive. You know, he did get an assist in the game. Obviously, there's a lot of uncertainty regarding Paul Pogba's future at the football club. There's quite a lot of Manchester United fans that are expecting him to leave next summer. If we do sell him next summer, we can probably get around 60 or 70 million. We'll find it extremely difficult to get more than the 89 million that we paid for him. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing. You know, he's into his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined from Juventus. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure, he has been inconsistent. You know, he's had a good couple of periods. You know, he did well towards the end of last season. He did well in that 3-month period when Solskjaer was the interim manager. Did Paul Pogba. A few weeks ago, Paul Pogba did make an admission, didn't he, saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. And last year he was talking a lot about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane, and he said he wanted to leave Man United because he was seeking for a new challenge. There's obviously been a lot of narratives of him going back to Juventus. Pogba did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. Barcelona a few weeks ago were interested in him. PSG, I think, have been interested. The other week, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, Paul Pogba. That keeps him under contract at the football club until 2022. This was also confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. We warned Paul Pogba the other week, like I updated you, that we're not going to break our wage structure to keep him at Old Trafford, so we're not willing to pay him what we paid Alexis Sanchez. But I think, you know, we'd be willing to give him a pay rise, wouldn't we? Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, though, I think he said at the start of the season that Pogba wanted to stay, but that was during the summer, and he will hold talks over a new long-term contract. Pogba's on around 290 grand a week at the moment on his current contract, isn't he? So he's one of the highest paid players. Don't forget, Paul Pogba recently denied that he quit the France national team, and apparently said he was going to take legal action because Emmanuel Macron, who's the France president, he was talking about Islam and terrorism and all of that, and this is when he mentioned it. Pogba's made over 100 appearances for us in all competitions since he rejoined, and he's won 2 trophies at the club, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup. You can say 3 if you want to include the Community Shield. So, yeah. I think we'll start Fred alongside Paul Pogba against Arsenal. Fred is undroppable at the moment, let's be honest. Fred has started our last 4 games. And I think Fred has just been very mobile. His runs on and off the ball have been good. When he's had the ball, he's kept it well. He's passed the ball well. So I've got to give Fred a lot of credit, you know. You know, maybe we might start McTominay alongside Pogba, or it may be Fred and McTominay, I don't know, but I think it'll be Pogba and Fred, I do. Fred has been at the football club now for a few years. You know, we paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk in the summer of 2018. I think we got Fred in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. Fred's got a contract with us till 2023. Fred was a world-class player when he was in Ukraine with Shakhtar Donetsk. I think ahead of Pogba and Fred, we will go with Donny van de Beek. I'm hoping Donny van de Beek will start against Arsenal. If he does start against Arsenal, that will be his first start in the Premier League. So that's obviously, his full Premier League debut. Now, Donny van de Beek started against RB Leipzig, surprisingly, because I didn't expect Donny van de Beek to start. Now, Ollie was talking a lot about Donny van de Beek before the Leipzig game, saying that he's going to play a big part this year and he's going to be an important player. And he responded to the criticism over the use of Donny van de Beek, because I think Neville and Patrice Evra were talking about Donny van de Beek, weren't they? Solskjaer was explaining why he hasn't played much, because I think Solskjaer's trying to find his best position, because like I said, he can play in like 3 different roles. He's actually predominantly a box-to-box midfielder, though, is Donny van de Beek. But he did play in the number 10 against Leipzig, and if we play him in this game against Arsenal, I think we'll probably keep him in the number 10. Or we may put him in another position. But Donny van de Beek was very, very good against Leipzig. His awareness in tight spaces was good. His defensive contribution was good. And I'm expecting to see a lot more from him. We paid around £40 million for him. He signed a 5-year contract with Man United with an option of a further year. And he currently wears that number 34 shirt. Now, on the left-hand side, I think we're going to go with Marcus Rashford. I'm expecting Rashford to start this game against Arsenal. Rashford has really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. So I've got to give him a lot of credit. Rashford recently scored a hat-trick, against RB Leipzig. Became the second Man United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute. Rashford was also the hero in Paris. He scored late on. That's the second time he scored late on in Paris. Rashford has been part of the club for several years. He's nearly 23 now. He's been a United player since the age of 7. So he's been with us a good 15 years or so. And he's been in our senior squad a good 4 years or so, because he's been in our senior squad since 2016. But aspects of his game have improved. He gets good runs in behind. He's scoring goals. His finishing's also improved a lot. So he's developing well. Don't forget, he scored twice on his Premier League debut against Arsenal, didn't he, Rashford, back in 2016. Now, I think on the right-hand side, we are going to go with Mason Greenwood. I'm expecting him to start this game. Mason Greenwood did start against RB Leipzig, didn't he? And he was very, very impressive. He scored the first goal. That was his first Champions League goal for Man United. And it was his 59th appearance for the football club. Prior to the Chelsea game, Greenwood had missed our last 2 games, didn't he? Mason Greenwood broke into our senior squad last season, didn't he? But I think he's the foreseeable future for Manchester United. Prior to the Chelsea game, Solskjaer had defended Mason Greenwood and he blasted our ex-players for criticising him. Solskjaer also mentioned that the English media is starting to go after him, and he also denied that his timekeeping was poor. Was it at the start of the season? We had a few issues with Mason Greenwood because he was like getting dropped from the England squad a few times. Confirmed at the start of the season that would give him Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. He's the 4th Manchester United player to wear that number 11. Now, up top, I think we're going to go with Edinson Cavani. If Edinson Cavani starts against Arsenal on Sunday, it will be his full Premier League debut. Edinson Cavani did come on against RB Leipzig and did well. He also came on in the Chelsea game and did well. He almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea. Like I've said to you, Edinson Cavani will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We got Edinson Cavani on a free transfer on deadline day. And Edinson Cavani signed a 2-year contract with the football club worth around 220 grand a week. And he's obviously our new number 7. So that's how I think Manchester United could line up against Arsenal. Now, we've got 5 players that are out. Obviously, Alex Telles is unavailable. Alex Telles recently got tested positive for coronavirus. Solskjaer's confirmed though that he has got no symptoms. Alex Telles was absent from the squad against Leipzig and didn't play any part in the Chelsea game. But Telles has not yet made his Premier League debut for the football club. I thought Telles was very, very impressive though against PSG on his debut. We got him for around 15 million euros with add-ons included, and Telles signed a 4-year contract with the club with an option of a further year. Eric Bailly, he's obviously unavailable because he's out with a muscle injury. Solskjaer confirmed he's going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks with this muscle injury, and that's my element of concern about Eric Bailly. He's injury prone. Phil Jones, he's obviously out. Jesse Lingard, he's out with a knock, I think. And Anthony Martial is not available because he's got 1 game to serve. Don't forget, Anthony Martial got sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. Shouldn't have been sent off, but he did get sent off. He got a 3-game suspension, didn't he? He's already served 2 games, so 1 game to serve, and then he will be back. I don't think he's enjoyed the best of starts to the season anyway before he got that suspension. I thought he was very good last season under Ole. He was also very good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. Martial's enjoyed a good 5 years or so at the football club, hasn't he? And I don't expect Daniel James to play in this game, like I said on the preview yesterday. I don't want Ollie to start Daniel James anyway. Juan Mata, he won't start the game, I don't think. And Odion Ighalo, I don't think he'll play any part. I think Odion Ighalo will leave the football club when his loan expires in January. I do, honestly. The main explanation why we brought him in on deadline day in January was to get that cover up to Marcus Rashford, wasn't it? But credit Ighalo, he was our top goal scorer in the FA Cup last season. But yeah, really, really looking forward to this game on Sunday against Arsenal. Obviously, if we do beat Arsenal, then that'll be our first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Because our home form has been a worry. It really, really has. But we are unbeaten in our last 4 games in all competitions. And like I mentioned yesterday, I think Ole will school Mikel Arteta. Because Ole has showed tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games since he got appointed in as Man United manager. Obviously, he's just overcame Julian Nagelsmann. He overcame Thomas Tuchel. Last season, Solskjaer overcame Pep Guardiola 3 times. He overcame Frank Lampard 3 times. He's overcome Jose Mourinho once. So, there you go. I've got to be honest, Arsenal do look a better team under Mikel Arteta. Arsenal recently had a good win. They beat Dundalk by 3-0. They have played 6 games so far in the Premier League this season of Arsenal. You know, they've won 3 and they've lost 3. And Arsenal made some good signings in the summer transfer window. Obviously, they brought Thomas Partey in. They brought Gabriel Magalhaes in. They brought Willian in on a 3. A few other signings Arteta has made since he got appointed in. You know, he brought Pablo Mari in and Cedric Soares. As Arteta got a contract of Arsenal till 2023, didn't he sign a 3-year deal when they appointed him in? Now, they've got some good young players in their team that I've been watching. You know, they've got that Joe Willock, Eddie Nketiah, and Reece Nelson, and they could be starting for Arsenal on Sunday. One of Arsenal's best players is probably Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Well, there again, you know, some people think he's overrated. I do like Lacazette a lot. That's Saka. I think he's a young player for Arsenal. I like him, what I've seen of him. They've got Ozil. He's still at Arsenal, surprisingly. He has been subjected to transfer speculation. You know, they've got obviously Granit Xhaka. They've got Guendouzi. When Unai Emery was Arsenal's manager, he made quite a few signings, didn't he? You know, he brought Kieran Tierney in, David Luiz, William Saliba, Dani Ceballos and Nicolas Pepe. So they're the players Unai Emery brought in. I think Arsenal still got a few players there, haven't they, from the Arsene Wenger era. Arsenal have got a few injuries for Sunday, by the way. Callum Chambers is out with injury, like I mentioned. Rob Holding's out. David Luiz, I think, is out. Gabriel Martinelli's out. And I think Pablo Mari's out. And I think Willian's recently been out with injury. It was 1-1 at Old Trafford last season between Man United and Arsenal. We did lose the game at the Emirates by 2-0. So Arteta's obviously had one over Solskjaer. So obviously Solskjaer wants to get his revenge. Arsenal have not beaten us at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006. So that's over 14 years ago now. Like I said on the preview yesterday, this used to be a very, very good game, you know, when we had Sir Alex Ferguson and when they had Arsene Wenger. You know, Ferguson endured 27 years with us, Wenger endured 22 years with Arsenal. 2 longest serving managers in English football. Arsenal, don't forget, are the only team to go unbeaten in the Premier League, because they did it in 2004. They didn't lose 1 game all season. I think they went on a 50-game unbeaten run, and we was actually the team to end their unbeaten run, weren't we? Arsenal have lost a lot of good players. You know, they lost the likes of Sammy Nasri, Jack Wilshere, Aaron Ramsey, Alexis Sanchez. I think they made a mistake getting rid of Sanchez. They also lost Robin Van Persie, don't forget. Olivier Giroud, they also offloaded him. Was it last year? Laurent Koscielny left them, Lichtsteiner, and also someone else left them as well. Welbeck, I think he also left Arsenal. Arsenal are the most successful team in FA Cup history, as you all know, because I think they've won 14 FA Cups. They won it last season, and that was Mikel Arteta's first trophy as Arsenal manager. Well, yeah. So this is a must-win game for Manchester United. It really, really is. After Arsenal, we've got Istanbul Başakşehir. That's our other opponent in the group stage. And then after that, it's Everton. And Everton is going to be a tough game. But yeah, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer definitely deserves more time at Manchester United. I think reflecting on that 5-0 win against RB Leipzig, a lot of pressure has eased off him. But a lot of pressure would have eased off him when we beat Newcastle and PSG, wouldn't it? But before them games against Newcastle and PSG, Solskjaer was under serious pressure at the football club, wasn't he? And there was obviously talks of Mauricio Pochettino coming in, and it says we was looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to Mauricio Pochettino. You know, we're sitting 15th in the Premier League at the moment, I think, or around about that. So we are near the relegation zone. We've played 5 games so far in the league this season. We've won 2, we've lost 2, and we've drawn 1. If Man United could finish in the top 4 this season, and if we can win a trophy, I think that would represent a good season for Man United. I really, really do. And I said, didn't I, that Ole has got to exceed his expectations. You know, this season is Solskjaer's second season as Manchester United manager, isn't it? And Ole has got a contract with the football club until 2022. So he's got under 2 years left on his contract. Now, I want his managerial tenure to work out. We know he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. You know, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. But reflecting now on Ole's been at the club, he has gained that managerial experience and he has learned quite a lot, let's be honest. We appointed Ole in December 2018 and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Ole's endured 4 transfer windows at the club and he's spent over £200 million. I also like the way Ole's promoted the youth. You know, we've seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. I credit him for what he did last season. Last season, Ole got us 3rd. He guided us to 3 semi-finals and he got us qualification for the Champions League. And last season was his first full season at the football club, wasn't it? I think next year we'll be looking to make a couple of more signings. Next year we'll also look to offload more players because he's still deadwood in the squad. I think next year we'll be looking to offload Lingard, Rojo, Jones, Romero. Romero obviously wants his contract terminated. Daniel James, think he'll be loaned out. Brandon Williams could also loan him out. Do you think Matic could leave next year? Do you think Juan Mata, do you think he could leave next year? You know, we will have to see. We're obviously going to go in for Dayot Upamecano next summer because he's available for around 38 million. I heard that we're going to go in for Adama Traore as well in January. He can play as a winger and a wing-back, but Man United are in search for a winger. If Solskjaer's still Man United manager in January, then he does need backing because in the summer transfer window wasn't backed enough by the board. And Solskjaer revealed quite a few times he was very infuriated with the board. Because we missed out on all of Solskjaer's priority targets in that summer transfer window. We also missed out on a lot of targets in general, didn't we? I don't think any of our managers have been backed enough since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. Moyes wasn't backed enough, Van Gaal wasn't backed enough, and Mourinho wasn't backed enough, and Solskjaer hasn't been backed enough, has he? But we've been critical of the board for several years, haven't we? Because our recruitment policy's been poor. Woodward's been at the club since 2012. The Glazers have been at the football club since 2005. I said to you, didn't I? It'd be very beneficial if Manchester United could get a director of football in because that's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club, isn't it? And we've been in the process of trying to get a director of football in since like the Jose Mourinho era. But yeah. Like I said to you, on my next video, I'll be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of this game. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.